All right, my name is Thomas Austin, and I'm with Kin-Kuro Shinobi Ninja, and I'm looking forward to bringing community feedback on my ninja program I'm doing.
Hello. How about a big hand for Thomas?
Hello. Once again, my name is Thomas Austin, and I am Kin-Kuro Shinobi. I am the sensei of a ninja warrior program I'm bringing to Billings area. What I noticed being a ninja coach for the last 4 years, but also fitness enthusiast for my whole life, is that a lot of places don't have adequate training facilities for high-level athletes like a ninja warrior. I was at Magic City, and we only could go up to the age of 13 for our ninjas, and so we had a lot of athlete bleed that would happen. So I noticed that we also... Oh, is my microphone turned off? No, the clicker's on. I just haven't turned it yet. I apologize. Do I need to be on this slide? Okay. All right, so I can switch to this slide because it does go into what I was talking about. I noticed that while I was training, not only did we lose athletes at 13 because we couldn't train them, but we also have to travel all over the place to actually do the sanctioned ninja organizational events, right? There's nothing in 1,000 miles between us except for up to 13. And again, we lose all of our athletes at that. Most athletes don't even get high level until they reach their teens. And so there's nothing here, and I'm aiming to bring that to this area. And I'll have more than just Ninja Warrior at my facility, but it's going to be a focus on competitive ninja athletes all the way up to adult age. More about the impact. You know, parents have a burnout tax. They're driving all the time, always traveling. It happens with a lot of sports, but more with ninja specifically because we don't have anything in the area. And then we have forced retirement. A lot of athletes, again, when they reach the age of 13, they have to quit the sport or go train somewhere 1,000 miles away. Okay, and it's not good. All right, it doesn't do good to build the community if our athletes can't keep growing in a sport that is growing across the world. Yeah. So again, I'm bringing a ninja sanctioned hub to Billings. This would be a very example of the rig I'm bringing with other stuff in there. I have also been out community reaching people to help build more ninja products, but from the community, so they're getting involved. And this is just, again, what we don't have here for the sport specifically. This is just more of my education. I've been doing it for 17 years of fitness, and I've been around every gym in town. I've been around a lot of the gyms in the state, and then I've noticed huge gaps. My why is Billings youth deserve this. All right, I've had to watch multiple athletes quit the sport over the last few years and or give up because they have to travel so far just to compete at the next level that we can't host here. This would fix all that. It's going to fix all that. We'll be able to do 6-year-olds to adults and possibly even bring like the actual Ninja Warrior, American Ninja Warrior to Billings, because we'll have a hub that has athletes that are capable of competing in this area and don't have to travel thousands of miles. So what I'm asking you guys today is, how much interest do you think the community will have in this? How should I approach more businesses to bring the idea to them, and where should I go from here? This is fully LLC'd and ready to go. I'm underwriting at the bank, and I'm just in phase 1 to ground break, basically, and that's where I'm standing. Okay, and that's all I have for you guys.
Okay, as I mentioned, I've got questions for... Yes. You have questions, he's got answers.
Yes.
So I have a husband and a son who do JKF karate.
Okay.
So how does this work with any of the other martial arts that might be around town? What is this?
So this would be a fundamental, universal training program. You can cross all sports. So if you can do pull-ups, which is a very big requirement to do ninja pull and flipping and stuff, then you can do other sports that require upper body lifts. The martial arts would be more of a self-defense style, kind of a perspective of physical fitness, but this would be the jumping, flipping, running part. So it'd be more like a obstacle course training at the same time. But it does translate across all sports, which, even though I lost athletes, they were able to easily transition to other sports. Does that make sense? Even though they weren't doing those sports ahead of time, possibly. Yeah, so it would go hand in hand.
Yeah. So is this a national type
This
competition?
is a world level.
Worldwide.
Yeah. So
Wow.
the first 2 levels would just be regional, and then so we have the qualifiers, which would be like our town and our little area, and then we have the regionals, and then we would have, we call them worlds or finals, and then we have kids from all around the world that come to America for that. It has been in California, it's been in Texas. Those are the 2 I've been to specifically with athletes. And then, yeah, we see people from all around the world,
Right.
but we still have to travel
Right.
for anything above a qualifier.
Right.
And then any of my athletes that go above 13, again, they can't even qualify in our area. They have to leave the state completely on my
Right.
1,000-mile map there just to find a place that they can compete in and
Right.
or quit the sport completely.
Okay.
And
That's
this will
great. I
fix
think
that
that's
completely.
good because we have a lot of youth. Well, a lot of people just need more physical, fitness in their lives.
Right. And some don't even start until they're like 8 or
Right.
9.
Right.
And it's like right when they get good, they have to quit.
Right.
Or they have to go find something else. And so I'm fixing that. I'm stopping
That's
that
great.
right now. Yes.
Thank you.
And I have children as well, and so I don't want them to have to grow up into a sport that I train and then have to watch them run away and do something else because they can't even compete anymore, right? Yeah.
Have you been in contact with like Steep World?
I have not been in contact with Steep World yet.
Okay. So I grew up in the rock climbing world, and a lot of them have done into ninja training and stuff. So that might be some place to go talk to them.
Yeah.
And see.
Yeah, the rock wall is a very common thing in ninja obstacles.
Yeah. Other than that, have you kind of started talking to any of the gyms around town at all? Just like regular
not yet.
fitness?
Like I said, I still was getting all the LLC stuff and working with the bank and whatnot to make it even something legit to present to people in the first place. It's one thing to show up and be like, hey, I have this idea. And another thing to be like, hey, I'm establishing a business that is working with the community. And I felt like that was a better approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily has a question.
So is there a way that you could begin without, like, if you don't get all the funding that you're needing or wanting, like, is there tell us a little bit more about the model and how it works and how many people do you need in order to make this go? And, talk a little bit about that.
Well, if I can't get the rig right off the bat, there's always just basic obstacle training and stuff, but I mean, you can go anywhere in town for that. So it would defeat my purpose. But having the rig and the location, which I'm looking for, it is the kind of the staple of it, because then we draw the athletes in from even other places that they would have to travel from. Now, it would work as a standalone. It said, my numbers say 32 people is all I would need for my business model to work. And then everything would just go up from there.
Regardless of age, 32 people.
32 members, regardless of age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
Now, just a heads up, like I said, I have other programs that will be available too. So the focus is the Ninja Warrior, because that's where I noticed the problem. But I am a personal trainer and a certified ninja coach and all that. So I will have other programs available for the community, and I'm going to try to bridge. So possibly have adult athletes training at the same time as youth athletes, but not just ninja. So they'll be like to entice parents to be able to work out at the same time as their kids. And then open gym hours in the mornings when kids aren't there. So it would bring in more fitness to the community in general, but also another sanctioned place for high-level athletes to compete, that they're not finding a location that fits their desire or their bodies, because the rigs are so small. Okay? So I apologize.
No, you're just fine. Okay, so you've mentioned the rig a few times, and for those of us who have zero idea what you're talking about, what makes this ninja rig different than what I could find at any other gym?
The size. Okay, so the ninja rig at Magic City, it physically size-wise, I can't even compete on it, and I'm not even a very large man height-wise, but the UNA and the FINA organizations, which are two of the worldwide level that we compete under, said it was too small and that we could only compete up to the age of 13. And so this rig, I'm going to it'd be a larger space. There'll be wider gaps, taller setup, so adults can actually compete, and then anybody above. That's the difference between where you can find it in town or not, is the size. Like Magic City is this big and it's a 2-layer, but again, it's only made for kids that can run around in there, whereas mine's going to be a single layer, almost the same size.
So it's not necessarily like its own specific type of rig, it's just the size that is
It can be its own specific type of rig. Like I'm going through a ninja ninja provider for rigs, so it's actually called the Ninja Elite rig. But there are other ones I can get that will be match. But so the rig itself is just the obstacle we need to train on, and its size matters. Yes, and that would be the difference. That I'd have a large enough rig. Can everybody hear me? Okay. By the way, I apologize. I do speak kind of quiet sometimes.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have you talked to any CrossFit gyms at Billings?
I have not. Like I said, like this lady over here, I waited to approach any of the big gyms in town until I actually had a legit.
Yeah. Okay. When it gets legit enough to approach people with it, I would talk to CrossFit Billings, because Yuri Hansen, the owner, I think he's there all the time. He moved anyway. Yeah, but my daughter does the CrossFit teens, and like you said, like after that, when they get so good enough, they have to go into the adult class, or if they could go on during school or something and go to the ninja class, that would be wonderful for them. And so I feel like that would be a good transition, because they start on CrossFit and then go to the ninja deal.
Yeah,
I
any
feel like
fitness,
that would
it
be
would
good.
translate across. Exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And then I said, I'm a personal trainer. I have other programs for regular weight training and regular fitness as well. Like I said, I'd be offering. The focus of the location though would be ninja. Yeah.
I have kind of a two-part question. So first of all, can you talk more about like your background and what you guys do at Magic City? And then the other part is, so what's the next step for you? You mentioned like underwriting at the bank. So are you getting a loan? Have you found a location yet? Like what's the next like immediate thing for
I
you?
have answers for both those. Okay. First question, I'm not with Magic City anymore, but when I was at Magic City, I was their head ninja coach for competitive, and I built the whole program from basically. We had a major curriculum, so there's, we start with stretches, and then they do a warm up, and then they would rotate around the gym floor, so they would match with the other classes, the gymnastic classes. Everybody got time in other places, but then we would go into the rig, and we would train on the rig and their specific things. So there'd be like laches, which is a two-handed hop from bar to bar, or swinging and climbing ropes, anything you would think that is like general fitness as well, CrossFit even style general fitness. And then we would just apply it to the rig and movements, because there's a lot of rules that require them to not touch certain areas. They have to land in specific spots and all that. It's all big requirements, right? Since at this kid level, we don't have the water they would fall in, you see in the big shows, but it leads up to that. Like these athletes can end up being teen, American Warrior athletes, but we would have to have a facility. So then after that, they would roam around. So we'd work on strength and training on legs and trampoline, stuff like that, obstacle training on the floors, and just like that was rotations. Lots of basic training, curriculum of conditioning and strengthening, techniques on how to apply to the certain obstacles. Okay. And then for the other part, I'm at the bank trying to get a loan, so I'm underwriting, I'm going through that process right there. So where I'm standing is I've scouted locations for the bank as well, so everything was presented to them. But I'm at the point of getting the phase 1 funding so that I can actually lease one of these places and purchase my rig. That's where I'm standing right now. Does that answer both of your questions adequately? Okay. Yeah. So my background plus at Magic City, I guess if you want a little more, was that I've been personal trainer and fitness coach for 17 years. And then after COVID, they were looking for a ninja coach, and I was trying to do a transition to children so that I could try to support youth sports, because that was my ultimate goal when I was in school. And then it just hand in hand, I built their program up, got to a point where I noticed there was bleed and that I couldn't build it anymore specifically for them without getting a bigger location and a bigger rig. They weren't ready to do any branching out yet, at least, which I was planning on going back to try to partner satellite with them, possibly, since they were my original supporter. But I left for some personal scheduling conflict issues with my wife's pregnancy that we just had. And so I'm not with them, like I said, but I have all that background. I built the program up and noticed the bleed. And we were working together on a possibility that was going to be further down, but I had to change my life and my schedule for the family. And so now I'm just going to try to do it on my own. Does that help as well? Okay.
You might have covered this. I was back there shoving.
I'm also a quiet talker. I apologize.
What does it cost for like a membership for youth or for adults? Young
I have different setups for that. So like a basic membership is just going to be $25, and that would be the open gym. You get free access to the HIIT classes I would be providing in the morning. Then I have family packages, corporate packages, etc. But for the Ninja, I have it set at $85 for 4 classes once a week, recreational, and then for the competitive for the children, I think I have it 185. I apologize, I don't have all these numbers specifically in my head. They were in my big list. And again, that's still just 4 classes a week, but they get 2 hours because they're competitive. And then it was just slightly higher for the adults, and the teen level was together. So I had the teen prices, which for recreation goes into adult, and then the adult teen competitive prices, I think it was $225, and they get 2.5 hours 4 times a month, once a week, twice a week. Yeah, there's a lot of training in there for a good price. Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought of something else. So at the gym, you're gonna have the rig. So is part of your idea to have other just kind of standard fitness equipment as well,
Yes,
like so anybody can come and
yeah,
just
and then I'll have
do a normal
pad
workout?
obstacles and stuff, so it'll change regularly too with what the classes offer, and then I have my own programs and stuff that would be available. Yeah, with the HIIT classes. Yes.
Okay.
And then again, I have the scheduled an open gym time outside of the classes so that regular members in the society have another fitness location that has structured classes if they want, and or they can come in and jump around on the rig without having anybody in the way and not having to worry about being told what to do specifically. It's like a free time on the gym. Yeah. Yeah.
So what is the floor as far as entry into getting trained on the rig and stuff like that? What's the youngest you'd work with, or is there like
6 is the youngest that competitive will allow?
Okay.
But once I get going, I was going to open up like a recreational preschool, which would start at 3.5, 4, which was very common around here as well. I was doing that at Magic City.
Yeah.
In fact, they were my favorite classes. Getting them ready to start competing, that was the fun ones. Yeah, so technically 6 and up will be the start for competitive, because you have to be at least 6 years old to compete in the organizations. But I will eventually have a preschool level fun recreational setup where they can come in and run around on mats and swing on little ropes and stuff.
Here, and
Yeah.
then I'll come back to you, Philip. Somebody over here. Was it you? Heather?
I was just curious, are your classes group or are they individual?
They will be group fitness. So, and a lot of the morning ones will come with the standard memberships of any of the package sizes people get. Yeah. So, and then I had it set for $30 drop-ins for non-members to come and do a HIIT class. So if you're not a member, you can still come in and drop in and do one of my random 4 classes I have. I offer 4 different HIIT classes in the morning spread across the week as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Bodybuilding prep, conditioning. I'll do that too.
Yeah, I'm just curious. What is your passion? What made you want to do this?
My passion is fitness and youth fitness specifically, because it's harder to change an adult's habits. That's why I've transitioned to children, was to try to start them young, defeat these habits of society so that fitness can be more ingrained in them at a younger age, where it's fun and it's not. Some people consider it a labor to go out and stay healthy, stay fit. And so that's my passion, is I want to bring fitness to the world. I love Ninja Warrior, and I love children. I am a father, and I want my kids to grow up into a healthy world. And so I'm starting young. That's my passion. Yeah.
What percentage of the overall business is the ninja training compared to all the other things that's going to make this thing go?
85%.
And you only need 32 people, and it's 85%.
Yes, ma'am.
At $85 a month?
That's just for the, sorry, for the recreational level. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the model says 32 members just in general across any of my offers. So even if it's just a couple people with a $25 membership, would still cover what it says to start. It's in that.
You're saying that's just like break even.
That's to break even plus. Yeah. To give me, have a little profit. Yeah, it's 32 people.
So you're sitting in a room full of entrepreneurs, many of which have bootstrapped things, and so funding can be difficult to get from time to time,
That
right?
is correct.
So,
the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
if you don't get the funding that you want or need to do this, what's your plan? What do you?
I'll fund it myself eventually. This is going to happen. Yeah.
So what would step one be of that? If the bank calls you today and says, gosh, you know what? We just aren't going to go this route. Come back to us in 2 years.
Someone that is willing to fund my phase one, just the phase one. And that's it. After that, I don't need any more funding from anybody.
And what does phase one cost?
$15,000.
Okay.
So I get the rig, which is 7.5, a lease place, the insurance, and then a little bit of working capital. It says 15 was the lowest number it would let me have to make it work correctly without sounding like I'm an idiot up here. Yeah.
So lots of us would love to have somebody who would fund our phase one of any one thing, right? So I'm just wanting to encourage you to think about what could it look like for you to bootstrap that instead of getting, right? Can you sell it through?
If we could just do the rig itself, and then I can lease a place. That's all. So honestly, just the 7.5 for the rig specifically, then that's the biggest hurdle right there, getting the actual rig. Once the rig is off, taking care of everything else kind of falls into place. Yeah. Now, the phase one, I just gave you the full number so that it tells you everything I'm working on to get it running. But the hardest part for me is right now is just getting the rigs technically. Yeah. Because it's that big chunk right off the bat for one item. And then the other half is all the little tiny stuff. Yeah.
So what about a bootstrapped founder member amount? So people can put in their own, like you do like a crowdsourcing campaign. Yep.
If you follow my QR code here, I do actually have that on the second page for founding members.
So do you have numbers for that?
I have a sponsorship page that I'm going to have on my website. I didn't bring it with me specifically. I apologize. But it does have some tier levels that people can sponsor, and they would get like logos in the gym and on equipment and stuff. But honestly, this right here is for the founding members. That would be anybody that wants to join, I guess. Yeah, we could just start with the basic membership for the gym, right? So if you wanted to register your child, $85 would be a good start, right? And then more $85 I get, there we go.
Yeah, I'm just curious, just like everybody's saying, we all bootstrap our process. The numbers, like the 30 and the monthly, it doesn't equate. I don't know how you've taken a look at how the numbers work for just to break even.
I had what's her name? I think off the top of my head now. Laureen over at SBDC. See, she did my numbers for me. I gave her everything, and she worked the spreadsheet out. Lorraine, and it was actually her outcome that told me it was only 32 people to make this work. I'm running off of vetted numbers by the SBCD. And she was really, really great. Worked with me fantastically. She was fast about it, and yeah, this is based on her numbers from what I gave her on my plan. So it's not just me coming up with these numbers. I apologize if I didn't mention that. I have already been vetted by the SBBDC and the Big Sky Economic Development. They actually sent me to her. Okay. So yes.
Perfect. Yeah. I just
apologize.
want to make sure
those numbers are not my numbers. Those are the city's numbers saying that's what I need to make it work.
I just kind of want to make sure you don't get surprised.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. Those numbers came straight from her spreadsheet for me. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Have you thought about a Shark Tank style pitch? So
I have, and that's what I originally thought this was when my wife told me about it. But it's a completely different thing, so I haven't done that yet.
Next month, I'm going down to Denver for Achieve Systems Conference. Last year, I don't know if they're doing anything this year. They had 4 multimillionaires, extremely great business owners, and people could come up and pitch their idea, ask for funding, very similar to the Shark Tank kind of little mini thing there. And they will straight up tell you if it's a horrible idea, if your numbers are off. One of the guys, he won't hold back.
Gotcha.
But then you can get great feedback, or if they like the idea, you could get your phase one from them for usually what they'll do is 10% of your revenue until they're paid back. So off the top, you make $10,000 a month, pay them back $1,000 until they get their money back.
That's pretty nice.
So
nice.
I can talk to you afterwards about. You can come down there as my guest. It's June 11th through the 13th.
Wow.
You know what? I will take you up on that. I'll talk to you later. Yeah.
There's somebody else over here. Had a question.
How big do you anticipate your first space to be?
Just a 3,500 square foot lease area. It has to have at least 16 foot, 18 foot high roofs, and it has to have a HVAC system that matches the A3 requirements for ventilation. So honestly, not very big. It could be that garage across the street, and that's it. Plus the rig inside and all my training experience. That's all I need. Yeah, very small to start. We'll grow and grow from there, and again, we can end up possibly bringing American Ninja Warrior to Billings, which would be very cool, I think. That'd be a huge thing for America, for our state. Yes.
How do you plan to market to the other folks who are interested in warrior training? Like, what's the way to get the word out to them that you're doing this once you get going?
Well, I've already been talking to a lot of the old parents, and I see people around town, and then I've been doing flyers and social media marketing, but at the moment I'm actually open for suggestions there as well.
Okay. I meant like more so like the people that aren't here locally, like that would come in to do training because they don't have access in other places or.
I haven't thought about that yet, but I have been interacting with the coaches from the other areas because we would have to go there. And so, I mean, it'd be basically the same concept, I believe. We would have a location that would be in the FINA or UNA website, and then the people that are choosing the shows to go to would see the listing available.
Okay.
And that would probably be the way it would market the best. I could advertise and hope that they get it, but the way we usually found them as well was when we got on the site and we looked for a location that was close and time worthy based on our schedules, and we would go there.
And when you put your location on their site, do they have to have, like, you just get to say this is it, or they have to do some sort of like, checking to make sure
they have to register with the organization that they're a competing athlete,
Uh-huh.
and then it shows up in the locations available to compete.
Okay.
And then we would have a listing, and it would be more than just Magic City was able to do, since we can now go clear to adult. Yeah. So that would probably be the only way I guess I'd market it specifically, is it would show up on their website as Billings, Montana can host this event. Yeah.
So a question for you. I was thinking about this. So over at 777 Fitness, they have a dedicated room for what they call strongmen and women. And so they're the people that flip cars and lift tires. And so they are a part of 777. And so they rent some space from them, but they're able to pull a lot of the members that already go there into their program because it's a little more edgy, a little more extreme, which I think people want these days. So would it make sense, I'm not saying you have to do this, but I'm just thinking out loud, to capitalize on a space that's already there?
I have thought about that.
Or you could be a part of, as opposed to, and then eventually as your business grows, and then say, okay, we've kind of outgrown this and we can go rent the shop or whatever it is. I'm just thinking out loud really how to capture some of that already walk-in traffic members, and maybe they give their members a discount on your program, and then vice versa. So there's a little bit of that cohesion.
I was
thinking out loud.
Thinking about that. It came back to her and this lady when they asked me if I'd approached any gyms yet. That wasn't an option to just start in.
I just started thinking about that group specifically, because that's kind of what they've done. I think at some point they want to move out, but it's a lot because they're using his equipment, which is great.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. There was a gentleman doing some boxing in town at another club, and we were going to possibly even just join up and do a thing
because I think if I owned a gym and somebody like you came in with something new and different, that would be attractive to me as a gym owner.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll definitely take you guys all up on talk to the gyms. Yeah.
Time for one more question, maybe one or two. Don't everybody jump at once, ready?
What's your favorite part of this whole thing?
Ninja Warrior?
Yeah. Or even this process of getting it off the ground.
I'm not really enjoying the process of getting it off. It's been a lot of paperwork and staring at a computer, and I'm a fitness guy, and I'm like, what? I would just have to say the end goal would probably be what I'm most excited about, because I'm going to make it happen, and I want to bring fitness like this to the area. I'm a part of this community, and I've been growing this community. I have family here, and so this is what I want So I guess
No, I
that's
think
probably
we
what I'm
all,
most excited about is actually getting it running and being able to teach children again because I've been on a little hiatus.
No, I think we can all relate to your drive and determination, which is what you've got to have, is that wherewithal. But like everybody said, you think, hey, and this is not a criticism. This is more like a bigger picture. Like, oh God, I got to do taxes. I got to do bookkeeping. I've got to do marketing. And so all that stuff kind of pulls from your passion of the ninja part, but it's kind of the necessary evil, right? And I'm sure you're kind of sounds like you're dealing with some of that now, some of the details.
Just staring at the computer for hours. I'm like, I want to be outside running around.
And because I've watched Ninja Warrior like on TV, and I think it's amazing. The athletes are cool, the venue's cool, but I don't think people realize what it took for those people to get to that point.
It's not easy.
Oh my gosh,
it's not easy.
They're unbelievable athletes.
I have to physically be able to do most of the stuff I'm asking my athletes to do, and if I can't do it, I don't make them do it. And I'm looking at the show sometimes going, nope, not yet. I'm old.
Danielle, one more question.
Okay, this is just a fun one. Yeah. What does Kin-Kuro Shinobi stand for?
This means
or mean
Black Gold Ninja.
Black Gold Ninja.
Yeah, so it's just 100% Japanese. Yeah, I'm Kin-Kuro Sensei, Black Gold Sensei Master. Yeah, I wanted something that matched ninja, but also had me a little bit in black gold those are my colors. Yeah, so just put it all together. It's me. I have not competed specifically in Ninja Warrior because I didn't start until I was 37 training it, but I am a former competitive bodybuilder and I've made multiple top threes, all around the country. Yeah, so my passion has been, I am a ninja. This is who I am. Yeah, my passion is fitness 100%.
Should have been wearing the outfit or something.
You know, I thought about it.
What's it called? Is it called a gi or what's it called?
It's just a regular outfit. Yeah, they don't really have names for them, I guess.
This is a regular outfit.
I was gonna put on just a nice, funny looking style Asian shirt, but then I was like, no, they're gonna take me not serious.
So I always have to tell stories since I'm the MC. I get to do that. So years ago, I got my son, who's now 30, into Taekwondo, and so he was just a little guy. And so he had his, I guess they call it.
Those are gis, yeah.
So it was white. He had all these belts. He was going through the belts. So anyway, he went through this phase like all kids do, where he's kind of feeling his oats. He's kind of sassing back to his mom and being difficult at school. And so he told his instructors at Taekwondo, and so they took his belt away. And then, they were really very, very firm with him and said, well, if you can be good at home, good in school, good here, we'll maybe give you your belt back, or you might have to start back all over at a white belt. And he was like terrified, right? But that was like the longest week of his life. And they gave him his belt back, but he literally has never stepped out of line since he was probably 9-10 years old. And that's 20 years ago.
We actually had a couple athletes like that.
I'm a huge believer in what you're doing. I think like everybody, we want your success. So
thank you.
That's hopefully you take it that way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why I kept coming back, guys. I see a bunch of people that want success with each other. So I was like, it's my group. Cool.
Anybody else? Great. Well, thank you so much. Have a big hand.
Thank you guys.
For Thomas.